judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness.
Oh my God, I fucking hate myself right now.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
What did we just see, team? This is crazy. How's it going, y'all? I am Dotsale, the underactive guy. Team, we go through a lot of things as far as just human beings in general, right? We've seen different things go on within society, different societal norms, right, that we've encountered throughout life. And I can't speak to things that were not really within my generation or my lifetime. So, for instance, I don't know what happened in like 1900 or like 1850 when women were, as they say, they had no rights to vote. They had, basically, they were kind of like black human beings back then. I think what they say we were 3/5 of a man or 2/5 or something like that. I really necessarily can't relate to being a slave. I just wasn't born in that time. However, my mother, my grandmother, maybe even a generation past that, they did experience those things. And, a lot of those things that happened to us, we have an opportunity now to take that out on people that don't necessarily have anything to do with it. So, for instance, white people today didn't technically own slaves, right? But as a black man, if I wanted to, I could take out my anger about something that I never went through out on them. When I think about it now, I kind of look at it from a way of, well, the way I grew up, as far as women go, I never seen women as less than or not on the same level as men. The only thing that we can really look at from a standpoint of women being less than a man, and I wouldn't even call it that, is just physical strength. I mean, probably about, I would say there is some women that probably could get the better of me. I probably wouldn't say many, but it's possible, right? There are some that are trained and very strong, very big and muscular and things like that. Still, it'd be a tough fight, but, I would say about 90% of the women in the world would be dominated by 90% of the men in the world. And then there's probably like that 10% where, go either way. The one thing that I'm sure about now, in modern times, what I can relate to and what most men can relate to is that even women that don't have the same strength as men technically do not have to deal with having to adjust to that strength difference, because we're seeing more times now in society where men are being abused by women, to the point where we're seeing a president of an entire country be assaulted by his wife on camera. Now, this goes deeper than just the assault that we looked at earlier, and we're gonna actually look into it a little bit more. But real quick, let's just see what we got here one more time. Poor guy. And I know y'all think that I should be cooking the president right now, but I'm not gonna get him, because for this president is actually the victim. Now you can see it right here, obviously, that he's the victim, but I'm going to go even deeper and farther back than that. We're going to go all the way to 1993. And we're going to look at Brigitte Macron. I believe I'm saying the last name correctly. Maybe I'm not, but we're going to go into her personal life. This is Wikipedia, by the way. And it's going to show that when she met the president, long before he became so, when he was just a 15-year-old boy, as her student at La Providence High School back in the age of 1993. I was barely thought of at that time. young Emmanuel, not knowing that he was going to be the president or be preyed upon by nearly a 40-year-old woman. 40-year-old woman.
Oh, the humanity!
And taken advantage of as he was just a young high school student. Did not know that he was going to have his youth taken away from him by an old witch.
Or are you just so old and ugly that you can't hear anymore?
We got it right here, team. We got her right here. This is how she looked when she slapped the sonic rings out the president. And this is exactly how he looked when he caught hands by the woman that was supposed to take care of and protect and provide for him as the senior by 25 years. So when this woman was 23, he didn't even have an idea that he was going to exist. He wasn't even conceived yet at that point. His parents weren't sure they were going to have this guy. I mean, you ever seen Back to the Future? I mean, you know, you can relate it to that. He might have had to go into a time machine to even make sure he was born at that point. And this woman came in and stole his youth and innocence. Now, if it was the other way around, this would not go over so well. But the consensus that we're hearing from the people in the public are not condemning this woman for her actions on young Emmanuel. You might say, well, Emmanuel he's an old man at this point. Not really. He's only in his mid-40s. And honestly, to him, he's still that young boy that looks up to this woman that taught him everything that he knows since he was a teenager and stole his youth, only to waste it away. And her abuse has gotten so bad that she can't even hide it in public because she wants her dominance asserted and to be well known. Because, see, Emmanuel is only in the possibly second quarter, maybe going into the third quarter of his life, where his wife, she's probably entering the fourth quarter, if not already there. Now, I don't know everything about the relationship, so there's speculation to be said. But what we do know is that, yes, in 1993, at the age of 39, she met 15-year-old Emmanuel Macron in L.A. Providence High School, where she was a teacher and he was a student and a classmate of her daughter. So just picture this. This woman's daughter is the same age as her husband. She didn't tell her daughter to marry him. She said, I'm taking him. And we talk about older women and kind of some of the issues that they deal with when they're alone and stuff like that, and why they don't give the young women the proper guidance necessary. It's because oftentimes they're actually competing with the younger women for the men. And it's kind of crazy.
Oh my gosh. Shut up.
I'm just saying.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? I mean that this is very, very disturbing to say the least. Oh, and also, it looks like she was also married at the time that she met young Emmanuel, because it was only January 2006 that she got divorced and then went on to marry young Emmanuel in 2007. So we go through all of this and we don't know what he's going through. Now, what the press is saying, or what the president put out there, is that, well, he says he and his wife were just joking, denying a fight and blaming disinformation like we didn't see the video. We're just going to look at the video one more time after looking at his statement. We're just going to see it right here. As he tries to hide his abuse. We're just going to loop it a couple times. We're going to let this one settle in. Does that look like the face of a man that's playing? I don't see a smile on his face at all. Usually when somebody's play fighting, you're like, you know, sometimes we go out with the guys, we'll do what we call slap boxing, where we don't close our fists. We just kind of, you know, we'll touch each other a little bit. We'll give each other one of these. We'll do one of these, and we kind of be joking and stuff. And we, you know, because we know we ain't going to get hurt or nothing like that. We know there's no vitriol involved. So we're kind of just, you know, tapping each other back and forth. We're having a little fun, just kind of testing our reflexes and stuff. And we have a little bit of fun, right? And, you know, but it never gets to the point where, you know, possibly the cops need to be called or anything like that. Now, what we can see here is that the president is shook, and he completely is caught off guard. And after that, he went over, and then it looks like they had to go back there and communicate a little bit, and then figure out their re-entrance to the public. And then look at her face. She comes out smiling, acting like nothing happened, like you just didn't assault your husband. This is the same young boy that she met at 39 when he was just a 15-year-old young man, barely at puberty at that time. And she took that from him. Now, we're talking about age gap dating a lot, you know. I don't really talk about it too much, but it's definitely something that's been making its rounds. And usually the men are cooked, but I've heard nothing about what's going on in this situation. The guy's terrified. He's terrified. So, we're actually going to look over here and just see. This is the woman in question. She's 72 years old. 72. And the president, Emmanuel, he's at the ripe age of 47. The ripe age of 47. And, you know, what do we got now? What do we got now? He has to put out a statement in which Emmanuel seems to have been struck by his wife, Bridget, were initially denied, then downplayed. So we'll just read through this and then we'll get up out of here, team. French President Emmanuel Macron denied on Monday, May 26, having a domestic dispute with his wife, Bridget, after a video appeared to show her shoving his face away when they touched down to a visit in Vietnam. He blamed the disinformation campaigns for trying to put false meaning on the footage. Vietnam have been put in a showcase. Incident occurred. Doors of the president swung open. Footage shot by the Associated Press news agency shows Bridget sticking out both her hands and giving her husband's face a shove as the plane's door opened. Macron appears startled but quickly recovers and turns to wave through the open door, which most of her body hidden by the aircraft, it is impossible to see his wife's facial expression or her body language. I can pretty much tell you that it looked like this. I got it right here for you. We don't need to see what was behind that plane door. I got it right here for you, all right? I'll leave it right here for a second. That's what she looked like. So, I got you. I got y'all. My wife and I were squabbling. We were rather joking. I was taken by surprise. Of course you were. I mean, who knows what happens behind closed doors, but you never thought it would get to this point. That's become kind of catastrophe. And some are even coming up with theories. Said Macron referred to other incidents, including images shot on the train to Kyiv. where some accounts falsely claimed he shared cocaine with Murs and Starmer. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. He's doing cocaine too. Let me put it back over there. I'm scared. I'm scared behind this woman. I need to get her down there away from me. All right. So yeah, this is the third time this month the Fresh President has been the subject of a viral video at a time where France says it is targeted by repeat disinformation. Other than false cocaine claims, emerges dominating the French leader in the handshake. I don't know what all this other, but anyways, yeah, basically, video quickly surfaced. The relationship between the 47 and 72-year-old wife has been the subject of fascination at home and abroad. She was a drama teacher, and he was a pupil when they met in private school in their hometown of northern France. A mother of three at the time, a single mother. No, actually, okay, she was married at the time, and began a relationship with Macron when he was in his late teens. Wow. A high-profile first lady. She has taken legal action to counter false claims on social media about her gender. What? They're saying she might be a man? I don't even know what the hell's going on at this point, team.
Judge my physical and mental, my physical as well as my mental fitness.
You know, team, this just goes to show that, I think we got another video of it. We watched this a couple of times and kind of just let it play out. And I'll turn the sound down. You know, team, this is kind of crazy though, right? And when you look at the dynamics that is women and men, and this is just kind of the circle back from what I was talking about initially, is that, what do they call it? They call it the matriarchy, was the man leads. There's the patriarchy. Matriarchy, I always get those mixed up. Whatever the one where the woman leads is pretty much where we're at now. And now you see the dynamics that is when women have the power, how they use it against the men. Abusive, mean. They take young men, groom them to be what they want them to be. You could give her credit for that at least. She groomed him to be the president of France. So she definitely had plans and put him into the position that she wanted him to. Didn't do it with her own child, but did it with young Emmanuel. And here he is at, one of the highest honors that you can have as a man, being the president. Probably, maybe the United States president is probably the highest level that you can get to. But, I mean, being the president of France is not far behind. I don't know what to say about this team, but I know that as a modern man, right, this is how they want it. This is how they want it. They want men to be abused by women, and I think it's tough right now. And they've also been pushing this whole gender war thing, which I don't even think the men are getting involved in. I think it's really a one-sided war, but team, it's kind of crazy. It's absolutely kind of crazy. So, one more time with the slap, and then we're going to get up out of here. Something that we definitely had to discuss. We'll pull it up one more time. I just don't know where we can say that women are oppressed anymore. At this point, it looks like the tides are changing, and this is probably what was planned. And I'm not saying that men are a victim in any of this. You're not hearing me complain about it. I'm merely just communicating what's happening. Because, I don't really think there's anything to cry about or anything like that. It's a cutthroat world that we live in. And that's just the truth. And here you go. Big, strong man being beat up by bigger, stronger, more influential wife. And the crazy part about it is that even him as the president, had he reacted in the same manner that she attacked him at, he would be the one demonized and destroyed and have his presidency stripped from him. And most likely a guy in an orange jacket and the guy standing right there would have took him down had he had done the same thing to his wife. And he would have been down on the ground getting his butt kicked and subdued. And that's all I got, team. That's all I got. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. She literally seen the president and was just like, you know what? Just slap the hell out of him. And this ain't the first time it's happened to him. All right, we're going in an undirected perspective. We got to go dark for this because there's nothing good about this. I mean, well, not for the president at least, not for the man. And it just goes to show that, you know, we're in a strange time. But it's not something that I actually think is very surprising. It's actually not. It's actually not. I'm gonna get out of here, team. I don't know what else to say about this. We just see what happened. And I don't know. Team. I just thought things would be equal. I thought that we would all be able to enjoy each other and have a peaceful world. But it doesn't seem like it's that way. But I know as men, we do not hit women. No. Peace.